How's it going, all you beautiful people out there? My name is Aurelius, and welcome back to Occult Crime Police. Alright, let's get back into where we were. That's right, we were talking with Lou and Drang. Lou had just said he doesn't think he has anything to do with this murder at all. After all this time, just demanding that he was the one that killed it. He's the one that did it. We finally get that neural uplink thing out of his head. And yeah, doesn't have those memories anymore. So maybe now we can actually start getting the truth. That's the hope. Drang, this is Rich. So now you're saying you had nothing to do with this, nothing to do with this whole thing. Yeah, I think that's exactly what he's saying. And the only reason you confessed is because your brain computer told you to? That's what I'm gathering from this. Basically. I love this so much. You see, back at the office, me and the boys have this whiteboard. We write down all the dumbest excuses crooks have told us. My twin did it. I was possessed by a vengeance ghost. That kind of thing. Every month we have a little voting party where the worst excuse wins $20. And buddy, you just won me $20. I'm gonna get me a fancy steak dinner thanks to you. Not for $20, you're not. You don't believe him? Of course I don't. It's ridiculous. Consider the two explanations here. Either somebody has been counter-programming this man's brain for the past 2 hours in order to fake a confession. Okay. Or he killed a guy, fessed up, then got cold feet about going to jail. I mean, I see what you're saying. I do. Only problem is, everything he fessed up to was wrong. Like, he miscounted almost every step of what he said he did, because he changed his mind just over and over. It was this way, no, it was this way. We were here, no, we were over here. Like, there's no consistency. So, how can we believe anything he says? Shouldn't we just go strictly off the evidence? I agree the whole thing sounds stupid, but it explains a lot of things. The general confusion, the inaccuracies, the way his story kept changing, that's what I'm saying, Warren. We're on the same page. If every guy who couldn't keep his story straight was being mind hacked, then half the guys I've locked up should have a brain chip. We're not saying that changing the story is evidence of people tampering with their brains. We're saying that if somebody tampering with his brain is the evidence that we need to support the fact that his story keeps changing, because, we actually saw the chip sticking out of his head. I will not have any lowbrow genre fare infesting this case, you hear me? Oh, buddy, I think that's like what this is all about. Look, it can't hurt to investigate this. He said his neural implant was relegated to the base's local network, so the hacker must be somewhere in base 24. Great, that narrows the suspects down to, 1,000? Let's start by asking Bottomy some questions. He might be able to clarify some things for us, because, that's how we do. And if his story still doesn't add up, we can put him right back on the suspect list. Fine. Go ahead. In the meantime, I'm going to call my buddies and get them to put this up on the whiteboard. You do that, Drang. Hey, Gordy, wait until you get a load of this one. Whatever. Go do your thing, Drang. Mr. Bottomy, you are feeling well enough. Are you feeling well enough to answer some questions? Sure. I'm actually feeling better than I have for a while now. Let's go over the confession. So, you think somebody else is responsible for your confession earlier? Pretty much, yeah. They like mind controlled you? Not exactly. It's more like they gave me fake memories of committing the crime. How did they do that, though? From my perspective, it really seemed like I had done it. It's fairly lucky for them that you had the integrity to confess. I suspect most people would have tried to cover up their crime. In fact, it would seem one such person did. I guess that was pretty stupid of me, huh? Not at all. We'd be a lot better off if there were more people like you in the world that wanted to confess their crimes. I mean, sure, yeah. Are you now able to tell which of your memories are real and which are false? Yes, I think so. Now that my connection to the implant is broken, the fake ones are starting to fade. Good. Sort of like how a dream seems so real in the moment, but you start to forget it when you wake up. Just ask the straight question. Did you do it? Why don't we get this one out of the way first? Did you, Louis Bottoming, kill Orrin Darsha? No, I'm certain of that now. I visited the Smart House earlier today, but Mr. Darsha was already dead when I arrived. Why did you go there? I don't know, come to think of it. I just suddenly got to thinking that it would be a good idea to check out the kitchen. Hey, you don't think I was already controlled at that point, do you? I don't know about Warren. That's exactly what I think, Louis. I did think it was weird how excited I was to splash around in that mud. Hey, those footprints. Could this mystery culprit have been clever enough to fake incriminating evidence against Mr. Bottomy? Okay, conflicting stories. Why did your story keep changing so much? This is a good question. Because if somebody just implanted false memories in your head, they should have at least been consistent, not always changing. Unless somebody's actively messing with your brain. Well, my memories kept changing. There we go. At the time, I thought I'd just been remembering things wrong. But now I think whoever did this was making new memories to counter your arguments. Whenever you pointed out a flaw in my story, it really did hurt my head. So it's Nearing, right? It's Dr. Nearing. Where are you? Profiles. No. You. Angie Nearing, age 28. Status, too busy for you. The lead programmer and designer of the Smart House. Scientifically minded, but very rude. And apparently at odds with Darsha about some stuff, weren't they? That what she was saying? Like, maybe not to the point of killing him, but I think she's a suspect for me anyway. Suspect Lou Bottomy. Lou's still a suspect. However, I don't expect him to be there for long. Whenever you pointed out a flaw in my story, it really did hurt my head. From my perspective, it was like you had just proven my own memories false. It would seem like reality as I knew it was falling apart. And then, just like that, I would remember something new that explained everything. It was almost a relief, even though it confirmed that I was the killer. I see. But wait a minute. If the true culprit was counter-programming you against my arguments, doesn't that mean they were listening in on our conversation? Well, through the Neuralink thing, right? Hey, you're right. But through the chip thing, right? Like, maybe not in the room. But wait, it's just us in the house, right? How could someone be listening? If they had access to your brain, then maybe they were listening through your ears. That's what I was thinking, Warren. Again, we're on the same page. Or maybe they've also got access to the surveillance equipment built into this house. Also a possibility. Bring up Nearing again. Thank you, Lou. This has been very helpful. I'm gonna go walk around and clear my head if that's okay. I still don't think you're completely off the hook. You could be. But I don't think you're completely off the hook. Yeah. Go ahead. You've been through a lot today. I mean, sure he has. Sure he has. But, you know. Haven't we all? But we can't just let him go. Still a little bit of suspect. Excuse me, Sheriff Warren. Hey, it's the security guy with the really bad eyesight. You again. Miss Angela Nearing wishes to speak with you regarding the murder. I'm sure she does. Oh, of course. Where is she? Don't worry. I'll wheel her into you. Thanks. Wait, wheel her in? Yeah, this figures. What? Hello, Sheriff. I've come because I thought I could... Wait, can you see me? No, I can't see you, and you haven't come because you can help. You haven't come at all. You've done nothing to help. I'm sorry, what am I supposed to be seeing here? Set the TV to the wrong input, you moron. Goodness. I don't get it. I have it set to HDMI and everything. I'll keep trying one until it works. Oh, there we go. Great. Now get out of my sight. Nearing, you're such... Everybody in this is either stupid or a jerk, but you were a jerk. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, guard. I'll apologize for it. Now, Sheriff, you can see me now, yes? I see a mid-2000s AV club set up with your face on it, if that's what you mean. I was under the impression that you would be coming to speak with me in person. You cannot have such a lack of self-awareness to continue to use your ridiculous acronyms that nobody else knows. Yeah, TYM, what are you talking about? That's your mistake. No, not really our mistake, it's your incompetence. See, as much as I wish to help with your investigation, I'm still incredibly busy fixing this house. That's at least understandable. I'm sure you understand that my life's work is a little bit more important than life itself. Than solving a murder. Well, see, here's the thing about that. Yeah? What's the thing? What? Huh? Agent Drang, I think you're going to want to hear this. What is it? Are you going to tell me that this television woman is the killer? Well, the thing is, I'm sort of the one who hacked that guy's neural implant. You don't say. Drang is freaking out. You mean this asinine fake memories excuse was real? Yeah. I need a drink. Cue Carlos. What's Carlos? There you are. You, my guy. Give him your margarita. No, my Carlos. Share. What the hell was that? Margarita? What do you think it was? But there's no tequila in this. You drinking virgin margaritas? Have you been drinking straight margarita mix this entire time? You didn't think I was really drinking on the job, did you? I did. I totally did. Somehow, this is worse than if you were. I kind of agree. Miss Nearing, I'm not sure if you understand what you just said. If you're the one who made Lou Bottomy confess to the murder, wouldn't that make you the true killer? Or at least... No. Well, that's a bit presumptuous, Nearing, to jump to that. I mean, not Nearing, sorry. Warren. That's a bit presumptuous to jump to that conclusion, because no, it does not automatically mean that she is the murderer, but it does mean that she is, at the very least, obstructing an investigation, and willingly doing so. See, you're missing a few facts about Orrin Darsh's death. The truth is, it was an accident. Really? An accident. What, did he fall down the stairs? No, nothing like that. It was a malfunctioning piece of tech here in the house. So your smart house killed the lead guy of what? R&D? He's like the head of research and development, right? Isn't he? Where are you, Darsha? Issued, yeah, Agency Department Research and Development. Yeah, dude's like the head of R&D. You just accidentally kill him? What do you mean? Grab her hand, just contraption alarm system. Alarm system? The alarm system? No, although not to brag or anything, it certainly could kill a man. That is an interesting thing for you to brag about. What can I say? I'm proud of my children. Good for you. Get to the point. No, it was the dressing contraption, where poor Mr. Darsha met his end. When? That's right, we found that shoe, which proved he was in there. This is true? But how is a glorified wardrobe even capable of killing a man? Hey, any part of a house can be dangerous. Especially if it's automated, I guess. More than a third of household injuries occur in the bathroom, after all. And, as it turns out, a machine which forces clothes onto a human body is also dangerous. But, I mean, it was only a teensy-weensy rounding error. How was I supposed to know that something like that would be enough to break his neck? I see. Carlos, can I talk to you over here for a second? Sure, Chief. I don't know if Miss Nearing is aware of this, but she's already confessed to several crimes. Maybe she thinks that since Mr. Darsh's death was an accident, she's inculpable. But, I mean, involuntary manslaughter is totally a thing. But since it's her own invention which killed him, it counts as criminally negligent manslaughter. Not to mention the fact that she tampered with a crime scene and obstructed a murder investigation. Exactly. Shoot, you're right. Well, we can't tell her now. She might bolt before we have a chance to arrest her. Exactly. That's why I need you to go find her. Me? I've got to stay here and keep her talking so that you can track her down. You mean I get to place her under citizen's arrest? No, you're like an actual cop, right? You get to actually arrest her. You don't need to do that. You work for the sheriff's department. You're already authorized to do the regular kind of arrests. I know, but citizen's arrest always sounded so cool. Focus, Tsukada. You're the only one I can trust with this. I won't let you down, Chief. Don't, Carlos. Leave the margarita. Boy, do I have to go to the bathroom. Let me just duck out and make my way there. To the bathroom, that is. Just where I'm... Shut up, Carlos. Stop talking. You better not go in any of the smart house bathrooms. The pipes aren't actually connected to anything yet. That would be funny. They aren't? Oh, Drang, what have you done? No, they're not. Why do you ask? Drang, what have you done? No reason. Sure. Miss Nearing, can you tell me more about this accident? WIS. I'm trying to figure out what that could possibly mean. Don't know. Whatever you say? Yes, thank you. Finally, someone here speaks plain English. It's not English. Honestly, that was a complete shot in the dark. Yeah, I'm glad it gave me options though, because that's the one that actually made sense. Glad it worked out, I guess. Oh, witness statement from Nearing. Okay, here we go. My testimony. Text document, wonderful. After the tour, Darcia came to ask me a few questions about the smart house. He, of his own volition, decided to test out the dressing contraption. Needless to say, it didn't go so well for him. I knew that an accident on the day of the smart house's unveiling would be bad press, so I framed that buffoon with the neural implant and tricked him into confessing. I see. Just one more thing. What? This second figure in Mr. Shritude's photograph here. The one on the left. That would be you? Yes, very perceptive, officer. I came down to check on Darcia, only to find that fool standing in the window. I darted aside just in time to avoid being fully exposed by his photograph. I was able to pass my silhouette off as that of the guinea pig bottoming. I mean, that's what everybody assumed, but his complete lack of hair never lined up. Does that fully satisfy your inquiring mind? Nope, not even a little bit. Alright, what's our MO right now? We just need to keep her talking long enough that Carlos can figure out where she's holed up. And if possible, find any holes in her story. But shouldn't Miss Nearing's statement here be the truth, so to speak? See, I thought so too, but something in her story doesn't line up for me. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what that is. Warren, Drang is not happy. You better fix this quick. There's nothing to fix, we're just figuring things out. What? Uh-oh. Yeah. Fix what? Fix what? This whole case. Dude, stop freaking out. We get everything wrapped up all neat and tidy. No, we didn't, because that turned out to not... This isn't... Oh, this guy is really bothering me. But then you just had to go picking at every little scab you saw. And now we got Computer Woman and mind control and all this other crap. Do you know how much paperwork I'm going to have to do now? I actually don't. I have to fill out 3 extra forms alone, just for the mind control. Poor you. Your office has specific paperwork related to mind control? Of course we do. It's the FBI, isn't it? Fair enough. Now bring me someone to arrest before I just pick one at random. You're a horrible agent. Boy, I'll bet Internal Affairs would have a field day with this guy. Interrogation. My testimony. .text. After the tour, Darcia came to ask me a few questions about the smart house. Okay, before I go making me, I'm just gonna say, get Ash's advice, because the game puts us here so I can use it. Okay, shoot, I'm stumped. I feel like we should be looking for some flaw in her description of Mr. Darcia's death, or maybe something with her cover-up of the whole thing. It's much simpler than that, really. We don't need to destroy Miss Nearing's entire story. Not yet, at least. All we need to do is answer one central question. Did Aura and Darcia really intend to use the contraption? If we can figure that out, we should be able to find the chink in the armor we need. Got it. Darcia came to ask a few questions about the smart house. He, of his own volition, decided to test out the dressing contraption. You sure seem, insistent that it was Darsha's own decision to use the contraption. Why is that? I just don't want anyone here thinking that I made Darsha do anything. Otherwise, I just know some clown at the insurance agency is going to be like, "Oh, you were the one who made him try it out, so it's your fault that he died." So let's just set the record straight here and now. Darsha wanted to test it. He was all riled up about how he didn't get to try it during the tour, so he made me run him through it. If I'd had time beforehand, I could have noticed the bug in the contraption and fixed it. This is only a prototype, after all, it's not fully polished. So really it's on him that he died, not me. That is super not how culpability works. Needless to say, it didn't go so well for him. I knew that an accident on the day of the Smart House's unveiling would be bad press. So I framed the buffoon with the neural implant and tricked him into confessing. Shouldn't the tour have told him everything he needed to know? That tour was more geared towards pedestrians. A lot of concepts were dumbed down so that your average simpleton could understand them. It's a dreary yet necessary process when selling to the common masses. You didn't need a shudder like that when you said the common masses, as though you are so far above the rest of us. As a common mass myself, I take offense to that. What kind of things was Mr. Darsha asking about? Money, of course. Okay, money. How much does each arm cost? What's the price to benefit ratio for each feature? It's exhausting. I build that man a revolution in home living, and he wants to know where we can cut costs. Would you cut costs on a sunset? Your house is not a sunset. I swear I must have run into the annual narcissist convention or something. Totally, Warren. Totally. He, of his own volition, decided to test out the dressing contraption. Needless to say, it didn't go so well for him. Care to elaborate on that point? Sure, but it's very technical and graphic. Okay, I'm all ears. Basically, what happened is there was a slight rounding error in the contraption's algorithm, an easily repairable mistake if I'd just been given time to troubleshoot. As a result, it mistook Mr. Darsha's skull for a nightcap which needed to be removed. It didn't see any of this, mind you. I didn't see any of this, mind you. This is all extrapolated from the state of his body as well as my own knowledge of the subroutine. It's just as well I didn't see any of it because this next bit gets a little grisly. Essentially, in attempting to remove his nightcap, the contraption dislocated his cervical vertebrae. That means it broke his neck, by the way. Got that. I know what a cervical vertebrae is. Now, you already know that the house's sensors can't recognize a human after they've died. Which is weird. Yeah. So when the house realized it was holding unfamiliar matter, it executed its error routine. Which, in this case, is to drop the foreign matter through the exit hatch. Well, that certainly explains the broken neck and the bruises. What about the victim's stab wound? I'm getting to that, okay? I knew that an accident on the day of the Smart House's unveiling would be bad press. That's all it was to you? Bad press? Well, think about it from my perspective. This house is my life's work. It is the culmination of all of my studies in machine learning, bionic engineering, and interior design. It's a weird three collection of things. And today was the day where I would finally unveil the fruits of my labor to the world. How could I let something so trivial as an accidental fatality ruin this moment? If the press finds a dead body in the kitchen of my invention, what's the headline going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be amazing genius improves everyone's lives with great invention? I don't think it was going to read that anyway. Or is it going to be dangerous house breaks a man's neck? Well, I mean, it's accurate. I just tweaked the headline to Crazy Guy Kills Boss Inside Super Cool House. I'm not enjoying this conversation. This is what we in the business like to call public relations. So I framed that buffoon with neural implant and tricked him into confessing. So you're the one that stuck the knife in the victim's back? No, of course not. I had the house do it. What about the footprints made by lobotomy? Easy. I splashed some mud around outside the house. Then I convinced that stooge to take a stroll around. It was child's play, really. But why such an elaborate ruse? Why bother with all this if your deception was so full of contradictions? Well, to be honest, I didn't figure you cops would be quite so inquiring. You didn't think they'd do their job, you idiot? I figured if you saw a knife on someone's back and a guy saying, "I did it," then you wouldn't bother yourself with anything that didn't quite line up. I'm afraid that while your technique might have worked on some people... Hey, what are you looking at me for? It didn't quite work on me. Alright. Questions about the smart house. Gotta test out the dressing contraption. Okay, shoot, I'm stumped. I feel like we should be looking for some flaw in her description of Mr. Darcy's death. Maybe something with her cover up the whole thing. We don't need to destroy Mrs. Nearing, not yet. What we need to do is answer one central question. Did Orrin Darcy really intend to use the contraption? Okay. You know, Miss Nearing, I'd really hoped that breaking Mr. Bottomy out of his trance would resolve this whole affair. But it seems you are determined to draw this out as much as possible. What are you babbling on about? You claim that Mr. Darcy was fully willing to test out the dressing contraption. Not just that, but that he himself was the one who insisted on trying it. But why would a willing participant leave scratch marks on the carpet leading to the trap door? What's this now? That's right. We got you now. We got you. While searching the bedroom, I found scratch marks leading up to the point where the floor opens up. Now, the only way I can think to explain something like that is if someone were desperately attempting to avoid falling into the dressing contraption. You look guilty as ever. Caught you in a lie. How you gonna talk your way out of this one? You're certainly gonna try, aren't you? Been making up all kinds of stories. All kinds of stories all day about this murder. We're finally gonna get to the truth. Next time. So, thank you so much for watching, all you beautiful people out there, and I will see you later.